Glasses out. It doesn't look like it. Well, maybe it is. It's hard to say. So, anyways, yeah, I wish I had a little more exposure to them. But can't have everything in life. That's for goddamn sure. So that is really it. I need to probably go to an armory gun store, and I might have to order this screw. This specifically made for this firearm, and this actually fell out about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I was up here shooting, and I remember Mr. T noticed it and probably forgot about it. I don't think he shoots it that often, but I shot this the other day, and I really like it. I like the action, I like the trigger a lot. Just it's pretty smooth. You know, there's some space there, but man, you get to that wall, and bink, it's right there. So I want to shoot it some more, but I also want to replace that screw. So I don't see it falling out, but it's just something that I want to deal with. So I guess that's it. So it's, man, there's a lot of darkness around here too. That was something else. The further you go north, the darker it gets in the fall and the winter. So you end up, you know, basically having, you know, the sun go down pretty fast, and then it's quite dark. And even today, I've been up. I woke up at maybe 4. I couldn't go back to sleep, and I get up and try to write an outline, create an outline for a project I wanted to do for someone, and I just couldn't get in the mindset for it. So I wasn't going to attempt it because it was just not going to be worth the effort today. I'm not there with it. So I'm going to spend the day hydrating, fueling up for tomorrow, and then getting out of here pretty early so I can head to Acadia Park and get that hike in. And like I said, it's not super high or super far, but you know, it's cold. It might be miserable. I'm hoping there won't be any rain tomorrow. But that's the plan for tomorrow, and we'll do what we have to do to make it happen. And then maybe I can attempt Mount Katahdin before it gets so shitty that I won't be able to attempt it. You know, that's going to be an ass kicker. I don't give a shit who you are. A lot of the things I've read, it's no easy feat. I mean, it's doable, of course, but like I said, I'm not out here climbing and hiking every day. So I think if I decide to stay here, you know, move here, I'm probably going to spend more time hiking and doing a lot of these trails. So it's not expensive. It's healthy for you. It's good mentally. You can't hurt it. So we'll see. But anyways, that's it. I haven't gotten a haircut, and probably part of the reason I haven't gotten a haircut, my hair looks like this, is that I don't see my reflection as much as living in the city or a house that has mirrors or whatever. I mean, when you're out and about, you know, subconsciously you don't think about it. You're just doing your thing, but you do see the reflection of yourself more. You're more aware of you know, your appearance maybe. But out here, I'm not engaged with people. There's not a lot of people to talk to, and there's not a lot of mirrors or reflections or glass or anything, so I don't really notice it. And if I notice anything, my head's warmer. I was hoping my hair would look like Clay's, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm just going to let it grow, and whatever happens, happens. And if I get to a point where I can't deal with it anymore, I'll get a haircut. There's plenty of barbershops, and I've seen some interesting ones that kind of look like, you know, they'd be fun just to sit in there and talk and shoot the shit with the staff. So I like old barbershops and old style architecture when you go into an old barbershop and the old chairs. And I find getting a haircut by a good barber very relaxing, especially if he's talkative and engaging. And you know, it was one of the things when I was in the service. You know, I basically had to get a haircut at least once a week when I was in garrison. And I would go over there and sit and, you know, and watch the barbers. Usually you had 3 chairs, you had a minimum of 2 barbers, and they typically were like retired Marines, that spent a lot of time in the Corps. And when I was in, I would say the majority of them were Vietnam vets. And there was a bond that you could kind of sense between them, and they would talk amongst themselves. And sometimes they would engage you, but they were there to cut here. And a high and tight was like just a haircut that took a few minutes. It was no big deal. They didn't drag it out for 30 minutes. You sat down in the chair. 5 minutes later, you had a nice high and tight, and you're out the door on your way back to the company. But out here it's different. They're gonna make the haircut a little bit longer, so they can justify the $15, whatever it is they want you to pay. Sorry for the music. That's all we have out here. It's the one station I can pick up, and it's not bad. I mean, it plays some decent music, and then it plays some shitty music. But with that being said, I have to have something to listen to, otherwise I gotta wear my headphones, and I don't always want to wear my headphones and use my MP3 player. So this is a good quality weapon. It's just, I don't know if they're as good as H&K. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but I'd say they're on par with H&K. Anyways, looks like this is going to be what I'm going to be doing for a good portion of the day, unless I decide to go out later. We'll see. But my plan is to maybe get this sorted out, and then I'm going to try and do a few things in town today. So, doing my bills, my budget and stuff, it's relatively easy. I normally, when I was back home, I would go to, places if I just want to pay on the spot. I just like go there and knock it out. Here, I don't have that luxury. So I'm at the mercy of having to, do things differently. And that's not a big deal. It's all getting done. So I just like to pay my bills on time and, have a good foothold on my budget. So I might need a new cleaning case. This thing is falling apart. I got some patches I made from some old t-shirts, and they work pretty decent. So that's it. I don't really have nothing else to say. I hope everyone's doing well, and I'm going to try and sit down and get some new content, some gaming going on here, but I got a feeling that may wait until, we get some snow, and I'm just like pretty much restricted to staying home unless I want to drive somewhere and do something else. But anyways, try to get some stuff up, lighten the mood, get some good gaming in, and work on a couple other projects that might help some people that are interested. And it seems there's an interest in some of the older games, IL-2 1946. A lot of people are, not a lot, but a number of people have sent me messages asking me how I ended up getting the game working with the newer operating systems, being that it's a dated game. And the short version is that as the operating systems were changing for micro money, I ended up putting in the effort to keep the game basically functionable. And